Ever since I was a teenager, I've been interested in skincare. But I was reading recently that skincare is a $130 billion business, $445 billion with makeup. It's amazing, isn't it? They say within our lifetime, we'll probably spend $15,000 on skincare and makeup. Doesn't surprise me. Look at all the choices we have when we go in to a drugstore or to Sephora or Ulta Beauty. More choices than I ever dreamed of when I was a young girl.
Hello and welcome. This is Sandra with Life Over 60 with Sandra. Our skincare needs change, don't they? I know my skincare needs now at my age is a lot different than it has been throughout the years. When did you first get interested in skincare? Was it when you were a teenager? Was it later on in life? Well, mine came when I was a teenager because I had those teenage breakouts. It really wasn't that bad, but when you're a teenager, you know, even one is just absolutely disastrous and awful. I can remember that. So my mother took me downtown to a little shop in town. Now, that was before they had malls. We had a nice little vibrant downtown in a village, in a town that only about 18,000 people, I think, we had at the time. But she took me down to a shop that it was called Merrill Norman. And I know they still have Merrill Norman. They still have products. But we went in and I came home with an armload full of products. And I really don't remember if I came home with makeup or anything else. The only thing I remember is this one facial mask that I put on. It was liquidy. It wasn't really like clay, but it was liquidy and it was the color of Pepto-Bismol. And it had a wide brush, about this wide, that I used to put on my skin. I would brush it all over my skin. And I just loved the feeling. It would tingle, tingle, tingle. And it really made me feel like it was working. I don't know whether it worked, but I just felt so good when I put it on. So that was really my very first contact with thinking about my skin and caring about my skin. You know, my skin broke out a little bit in my teens. It wasn't bad, but, you know, I can remember having a crush on someone. And during study hall, I went to the library and I was sitting and I think I had something like right here. I was so self-conscious, just one. And a boy that I had a crush on was sitting in the library. And I remember, you know, putting my head on my book and going like this, like I was resting my hand on my book. But the whole time I put my finger over my one little blemish. It was really crazy. But when you're a teenager, you're so, you know, everything matters. Everything is magnified. If somebody says something to you, everything is just magnified completely. But that really was my introduction to skincare. And throughout the years, I mean, my skin routine has changed a lot. I really, when I was in my 20s, I really don't think I did that much about skincare. I know that I sat in the sun a lot and I put baby oil and iodine all over me, which was horrible. But when I was in my 20s and I was in New York, I was finishing up school there, I met a model. She was so pretty and she had beautiful, beautiful skin. And I said to her, gee, you know, you have such beautiful skin. What do you do? And she told me she went to a dermatologist on Fifth Avenue. And I thought, well, why not? You know, I'm here. I'll go, because her skin was just absolutely beautiful. So I went to the doctor, and he had a beautiful office on Fifth Avenue. And while I was there, I noticed a lot of the ladies were wearing hats. And, but I mean big hats, not just the little hats that, like we used to have to wear. And I later found out that he was a pioneer in hair transplant. But I went in and I had oily skin, but my skin basically was not bad. So he gave me a handful of products, really nice products that I took home with me. Really nice toners, great cleansers, great creams. And I really, really liked them an awful lot. So I went to him the whole time I was in New York, and I kept getting the products. Well, to fast forward, it turns out that Norman Orentreck, that was his name, Dr. Norman Orentreck, was the one who developed Clinique for Estee Lauder. So I probably was one of the first people ever to be using Clinique because I was one of his clients. But that really started me on thinking about skincare and on thinking about taking care of my skin. And then when I was in my, I think 40s, I was acting, and I was approached by a company called Orléans of Paris. And they asked me if I would be their on-site representative for a new product that they were coming out. They had a product that was called B21. They had retwisted or retweaked the serum and adding some new and improved products in the serum. And they were doing a huge national campaign, and it was to open up to New York City, and all of their flagship shops or stores in New York, like Bonwit Teller, Bergdorf Goodman, Saks, Lord & Taylor, Macy's, all of them were going to be promoting, but it was started out in Saks. That was going to be the big grand opening, and also Bloomingdale's. And they asked me if I would be their local spokesperson for that particular promotion, and that I would be working with the models that were doing the promotion, and I would be basically the person on site that would be their representative. And the company then hired Paulina Portugal. She was a huge model in the 80s, very, very popular and extremely beautiful. As a matter of fact, she's still beautiful today. She married the Rick Ocasek, the lead singer of the Cars. And as an aside, years later, about 4 years later, after I did this promotion, she and Rick moved across the street from us in New York. And then they had 2 nice little kids. And I used to love to see them over at the pier. He would go into the play area or the areas where the children would go, and I'd see his tall, lanky frame, you know, walking around with his 2 little kids. But anyway, so that is what got me interested again in skincare, using the Orléans products, because for a long time they supplied me with the B12 serum, the toners, the creams, and the mascara. I couldn't wear the makeup because I had an allergic reaction to hair dye, and I couldn't at that time wear lipstick, but I used natural products to color my cheeks and my lips, but I didn't tell them that. So anyway, that was really a wonderful experience for me, but it got me back on my journey of skincare. Now, when you were in your 30s or 40s, your skin started to change, didn't it? We were starting to get older and maybe be more aware that we were getting older and using skincare. Well, that's exactly what happened to me. So I was using that for a long, long time. And then as I got older and as the free products quit coming, I decided to research other products. And since I had had the allergic reaction to hair dye, and I have done a video on that, and I can put the link below, I was getting very interested in natural products. I used natural titanium dioxide lipsticks, blushes, powders for my face because I really didn't wear foundation, but just something to take away the shine. So I was using all kinds of natural products, and then I got interested in oils. And I started using various oils on my skin. Rosehip seed oil. I'm just trying to think of all the oils that I used to use back then, but they were all natural oils that would really make my skin feel very soft and very nice. So that allergic reaction that I had took me on the journey of using natural products. When I was in the theater, naturally I had to wear really heavy makeup, things that the type of makeup or grease paint that I wouldn't wear on the street. And in order to get all of that stuff off of me after every performance, I used a product called Almay. And they still make that product today, but it has petroleum in it, has a lot of products in it. But it was really great to help me get all of that stuff off my face. But in the way, it wasn't good because I was always with tissues, cleansing and rubbing off my face. So that probably was not the best thing for my skin during that period in my life. But during the day, I really was still very light in the makeup area. But it was during my days in television and in the theater that I did have to include heavy makeup in my life. Now that once I got into my 60s and into my 70s, every year it seemed I was using less and less makeup. And now that I am in my 70s, I really don't wear foundation. Very rarely. I do maybe once in a while, but very rarely do I wear foundation. I wear a zinc sunscreen on my face. I use natural oils, vitamin C. I use hyaluronic acid. I try to use as many natural products as possible because I know my skin is thinner and it's more delicate, and I want to try to keep it as young looking as possible. I use retinoids. I don't use Retin A, but the more I watch the creators in the beauty community, I'm thinking maybe I should try Retin A. I have very sensitive skin, so I would have to try it very slowly. But I'm all into natural. I really, as far as I am concerned, and this is just a personal feeling, natural is better for me. It really is. I just want to go the natural way. The less chemicals and the less stuff I pile onto my skin, I think the healthier I look, and I think the better off I am. I don't wear powder. I don't need it. My skin is not oily anymore. I think my skin really is normal. It's not really dry. So that's what I do. I mean, what do you do? What type of skin do you have? And do you feel better when you're made up and looking glamorous? I mean, maybe you do, and that's your look. I'm kind of a natural boho woman, so for me, I feel that a lot of makeup really ages me. But that's just who I am. If you want the really dramatic look, and if you're a dramatic kind of a woman, then you can really get away with it. But I just don't think that I can, because I have light eyes and light hair and my skin is very fair. And I just feel that the less I do, the better I am. So that is really the story of my morphing from a teenage breakouts to my 70s sensitive skin that is changing. And I really try to do everything that I can that is natural. I do my Jade Roller. I roll to take away the puffiness in my skin and to help also apply a lot of my oils and natural creams. And that's basically what I do. But we do change as we get older, and we have to change because our needs are different. Just like our own bodies are different, we do have to change the needs of our skincare. and makeup. Let me know what you do. Let me know how you feel about it. I really would be very interested to know. Thank you for joining me for this short video on my skincare and makeup journey throughout my life. We all have a story, and I'd like to hear yours. Be kind to yourself today. Don't forget to just do some little thing of kindness for someone. You would be amazed at how it might just make their day. And don't forget to share the love. And know that I appreciate each and every one of you. And if you have subscribed, thank you so much. If you haven't subscribed yet, I'd love to have you along on this journey with me. Take care, have a wonderful day, and I will see you in my next video.